multi-talented, multitasking, multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless feet will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zoa. No applause? You're all fired.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money. Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time.
That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good.
Very good.
Coming in hot. Jimmy coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Good morning, America. I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, Lara, Ginger. Hey.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. Good morning to everybody. Glad to have all of you here. I saw 7 people in the building, 6 people, 4 people in the building. Either way, glad to have you in. Y'all, we got some breaking news that just happened. Very big news that we'll discuss at the top of the show. But in addition to that breaking news, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 destinations for you all this morning. Tyra Banks, everybody is talking about the documentary. Y'all, I watched it. I have some things to say. As always, we'll get to that. Jennifer Hudson is renewed for season 5 of her talk show. Lord Jesus. We'll talk. Jerry O'Connell apparently has a chance to be a talk show host again. Opinions will be abound for that one too. Gordan Ramsey has a new docu series at Netflix. Okay, he has a new series at. Let me just go ahead and do it like this. Has a new series on Netflix. We'll talk about that. Warner Bros. Discovery. Y'all know the battle between Paramount and Netflix has been ongoing. There's some new developments there. We'll talk about that. Linda Davis is a black woman who is no longer here with us because of ICE. I'll fill you in with what you need to know. And child, everybody's been talking about Fantasia too. And Lord, it has come to a head this morning. So with that being said, let's make it do what it do, everybody, because higher is weighing, low is available. But either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down this psychotic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. Because one thing to know, and two things for sure, that over here on this channel, a lot happens early. Roll it.
It's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early.
I'm Harry Smith.
I'm Julie Chen. I'm Maggie Rodriguez.
Morning everywhere. Come on, get up.
I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Dave Price.
And it's a little early for this.
Now this it's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early. Every day's good when you're starting it out right. But whenever you start in the daylight, and a lot happens early. Can you feel it when I say?
Good morning, everybody.
Are you girls ready for the Jonas Brothers?
We have an early show exclusive. Yes.
A lot happens early.
Early.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot happens
Early.
The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.
It's a new morning.
Yes, it is Julie Chen Moonves. It is a new morning. Russ Mitchell, Dave Price, Harry Smith, and Maggie Rodriguez. You're absolutely right on this channel right here. A lot happens early. Good morning, everybody. Let's get to the breaking news. This just happened just now before coming on the air to go on tour with all of you good people. Child, the Supreme Court made a decision about something that's been going on for quite a while here. So let's get to it. The Supreme Court strikes down most of 47's tariffs in a major blow to the president, delivering a major blow to 47. The Supreme Court ruled that he exceeded his authority when imposing sweeping tariffs using a law reserved for a national emergency. Let me read this 2 more times. Like, oh, happy day when Jesus walked across the water. Delivering a major blow to 47, the Supreme Court ruled that he exceeded his authority when imposing sweeping tariffs using a law reserved for a national emergency. Delivering a major blow to 47, the Supreme Court ruled that he exceeded his authority when imposing sweeping tariffs using a law reserved for a national emergency. The justices held that 47's aggressive approach tariffs on products entering the United States from across the world was not permitted under a 1997 law called the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA. It's a rare setback for the administration at the Supreme Court, which has a 6-3 conservative majority since 47 began his second term in January. During arguments, justices have appeared skeptical of 47's tariffs. Prior to today's ruling, lower courts had ruled against the 47 administration, with both sides asking the Supreme Court to issue a definitive ruling. During arguments last year, Chief Justice John Roberts, one of the court's conservatives, noted that the imposition of taxes on Americans has always been the core power of Congress, a fact that was echoed by other justices in their questioning. The statute doesn't use the word tariff, Roberts said, or as liberal Justice Elena Kagan told Solicitor General D. John Sauter, it has a lot of actions that can be taken under the statute. It doesn't just have the one you want. So what is the International Emergency Economic Powers Act? This act allows the president to regulate imports when there is an emergency, extending to the power to impose global tariffs of unspecified duration or breadth. Constitution states that the power to set tariffs is assigned to Congress, i.e. EPA, which does not specifically mention tariffs. Thus, the president can regulate imports and exports where he deems there to be an emergency, which occurs when there is an unusual or extraordinary threat to the nation. Until 47 began its second term in January, no president had ever used the law to tariff imports. U.S. stocks jump. They rose. The stock said, I got the victory. I got the sweet, sweet victory in Jesus. Yes, I do. The U.S. stocks rose today in the minutes after the Supreme Court said that President 47 could not impose sweeping tariffs under the International Economic Emergency Powers Act. I know. The morning show host of CNBC, the one that sucks the president's schlong off every morning on that show. He is just so pissed. The Supreme Court should have bowed down on their knees and swallowed his schlong like I do. Let me bring up who that is, by the way. CNBC morning show. This is a happy day. Listen, you gotta find the wins in life where you can. You know what I mean? So here he is. This guy right here. Hang on, give me a moment. This guy right here, child. Give me a moment. Joe Kern. Right here. Hang on. Right here. So this dumb fuck right here. Anytime something goes on with the president, he gets so animated. I'm like, sir, why don't you just move over to Fox Business? I'm sure they'll gladly have you, okay? Oh, my God. Let's get back to it, child. Oh, my God. In the moments after the decision, the broad-based S&P 500 went from trading in the red to jumping 0.5%. The NASDAQ, which more closely tracks tech companies, soared 0.6%. On the yield on U.S. Treasury bonds jumped across maturities. Yields on the 10-year bond, which mortgage rates often track closely, rose to 4.09%. The 30-year Treasury yield rose to 4.74%. The U.S. dollar jumped against other currencies such as the British pound, euro, Japanese yen. I still know that investors are taking the Supreme Court decision favorably. The dollar's strength can often correlate to trust in U.S. assets and stability. Like the penny, that's no longer around, apparently. Oh, man. Chief Justice Roberts cites lack of historical precedent in ruling against tariffs. The Supreme Court in a 6-3 decision has ruled against 47 tariffs he imposed during IEEPA. Chief Justice Roberts wrote the majority opinion with Justices Clarence Thomas, who is also an assayer, allegedly, Samuel Alito, and Brett Kavanaugh, who is also an assayer, allegedly, as well. The government reads IEEPA to give the president power to unilaterally impose unbounded tariffs and change them at will. Roberts writes in his opinion that view represent a transformative expansion of the president's authority over tariff policy. Roberts said it was very telling that in IEEPA's half century of existence, no president has invoked the statute to impose any tariffs, let alone tariffs of this magnitude and scope. He said the lack of historical precedent, coupled with the breadth of authority that the president now claims, suggests that tariffs extend far beyond 47's authority. Thomas wrote in his dissent. Thomas has dissent for something? Oh, my Lord. Wrote that neither statutory, of course, he would say statutory. Moving on. Neither statutory text nor the Constitution provides a basis for ruling against the president. He said the court has long conveyed to Congress that it may vest the president with large discretion in matters arising out of the execution statutes relating to trade and commerce with other nations. I'm going to need Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel to throw down tonight Okay, I'm gonna need y'all to do what you gotta do. Jasmine Crockett, take this win and ream that other side up the asshole with no lube. Let them bleed, suffer, and cry like the midgets and bitches they are. This is a huge win because everybody's been saying the president needs to be handled. Y'all, this is huge, okay? So now we pay the terrorist. A coalition of more than 800 small businesses from around the U.S. responded to the Supreme Court decision by demanding immediate refunds to businesses for tariffs that they paid. A legal victory is meaningless without actual relief for businesses that paid these tariffs. The administration's only responsible course of action now is to establish a fast, efficient, automatic refund process that returns tariff money to the businesses that paid for it. The group says statement small businesses cannot afford to wait months or years while bureaucratic delays play out, nor can they afford expensive litigation just to recover money that was unlawfully collected from them in the first place. These businesses need their money back now. The statement added that businesses had to have had to freeze hiring or take out loans to offset the cost of tariffs over the last year. You know, if y'all didn't get rid of the diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging initiatives that allowed other people to be hired to kind of shore up positions and shore up, processes to be able to make money, I'm sure none of this will be happening. Well, the rest of America elected a racist, a bigot, a sexist, somebody that the allegations of him raping E.G. Carroll was substantially true, and also paid off an Orange Star that spanked him, and also cut off $600 million for HIV, STD, research and HIV surveillance. There's a lot more to him. In his dissent, Justice Kavanaugh warns refunds of billions of dollars will have significant consequences for the U.S. Treasury. In his dissent, Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who is a SAer allegedly, wrote that the court's decision is not likely to greatly restrict presidential tariff authority going forward, but he warned that it will cause a mess for the government. But the court's decision is likely to generate other practical consequences in the near term. One issue will be refunds. Refunds of billions of dollars will have significant consequences for the U.S. Treasury, he wrote. The president is suing the IRS over his tax returns. Yeah. So right here, y'all, look at this. Let me see. Tax return refund. I think he got like millions of dollars in terms of his, tax, his tax refund. How much did get in a tax refund? Right here. So I want y'all to see this, okay? I want y'all to see this. This would have yielded him a $6.5 million to $7 million refund. So you mean tell me giving refunds to businesses would be a problem, but yet he can get $6.5 to $7 million in a refund, and that he's also getting payments as president because he can manipulate the circumstances to get the best deals for himself and his family while he's president? Okay, child. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, but y'all can't do refunds though. Okay. Go. He wrote, the court has nothing to say today about whether, if so, how the government should go about returning billions of dollars that collected from imports. That process will likely be a mess, as well as was acknowledged at oral argument. So right here, of course, the president lamented the Supreme Court potentially overruling his tariffs. We're taking hundreds of billions of dollars. 47 said we're going to be taking in the next year 900 billion tariffs unless the Supreme Court said you can't You can't do that. Can you believe it? I have to be up here trying to justify that. Calling the policy common sense, 47 points to the 12 billion economic revenue. He said funded for farmers who were taken advantage of by many foreign nations. Without tariffs, this country would be in so much trouble right now, you argue. There are farmers that have went bankrupt because of what you did to them by taking out DEI, B, diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, but also two, there was funding for them that you decided to cut. Okay, so just top Democrats are celebrating as a victory. I'm just going to wrap this thing up here. And then right here, although Supreme Court has struck down the president's tariffs, several U.S. statutes will allow 47 to reimpose tariffs if he chose to do so. These include Section 338 of the Tariff Act of 1930, Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962, Section 201 of the Trade Act of 1974, Section 301 of the Trade Act 1974, and Section 122 of the Trade Act 1974. So, and right here, look, a big win. American farmer calls tariff ruling a wake-up call. I got a big win. John Boyd, president and founder of the National Black Farm Association, told NBC News in a phone interview, the Supreme Court is still the law of the land. I think they got this one right. Boyd said 47's tariff drove up general input costs, including fertilizer, diesel, and machinery parts, and hurt heavily produced commodities such as corn, wheat, soy, and soybeans by disrupting export relations with major buyers like China. So, the head of the National Black Farmers Association said bullshit. Okay. Child. And right here, he said that he was informed of the president was informed of the Supreme Court's decision to strike down most of its tariff policy while he was meeting with a bipartisan group of governors, except Westmore. And calling the ruling a disgrace. According to a person familiar with his reaction, he also told the room this morning that he had a backup plan per this person. The White House has yet to comment formally because Caroline Leavitt has to be the prostitute whore slut for the White House and try to come up with a lie. Okay, so listen. Yeah, so it just is child. Let's roll on to Tyra Banks because now there's a lot going on there. Okay, there's a lot going on there. From Deadline.com, reality check inside America's Next Top Model director said documentary would have happened regardless of Tyra Banks' participation. While Tyra Banks' appearance on reality check inside America's Next Top Model has been met with much disclosure, directors rather would have gone forward with or without her. Daniel Sivan and Moore Luschke, who co-directed the Netflix docuseries, recently explained they were making the show about the behind-the-scenes controversies of the model competition reality show regardless of Banks' participation. This documentary was happening regardless if she was given an interview or not, and she decided she did want to share her side of the story. Lucy told The Wrap. I'm very happy that she did because it gave the opportunity to really go deep into the debates, into the start of the idea, not by a third person, but from Tyra herself to really hear the journey that she's been through. Sylvan noted that the only topic Banks wasn't open to talking about was that status of her friendship with Judge Jay Manuel and creative director Jay Manuel. The fact that she said, I don't want to talk about it, is a powerful answer. It wasn't dodging the bullet. It was saying this is still painful, he said. According to The Wrap, Banks had no editorial control over the docuseries and was not privy to the final cut until it debuted Monday on Netflix. Was the reality check America's Next Top Model documentary meant to help Tyra Banks clear her name? Because I don't know if it did. And so, of course, you have Phaedra Parks looking like, what the fuck? Now available to stream, reality check inside America's Next Top Model unpacks some of the UPN, VH1's reality shows controversies, including Shandy Sullivan's on-screen SA, multiple instances of blackface, Banks' infamous, "We're all rooting for you," outburst at Tiffany Richardson. While ANTM past models and judges have been commended for opening up on the docuseries, many online feel that Banks did not fully take responsibility for her past actions and behavior. was hashtag reality check America's Next Top Model documentary meant to help Tyra Banks clear her name? Because I don't know if it did, wrote one viewer on Twitter. Tyra Banks should have passed on this documentary. Another poster on Threads. She can barely even pretend to give 2 ounces of a fuck. Oh my God. One viewer posted a still Tyra's confessional, right? If I send you this, just know I am apologizing for shit. You know what? So this one right here, if I send you a picture of this confessional, I am apologizing for shit. Let's look at the 4 comments real quick, and then we're going to get into it because I have a lot to say. From JR says, I think it's incredibly unfair to dump all this blame on Tyra. It's like blaming Jeff Probst for draining you on island, make you eat bugs for dinner for 20 years later. Those girls were cast because they had dysfunctional backstories that made for great television. Now their lives have turned out the way they wanted to. They're pointing the fingers at everyone else but themselves. Blame every single reality show of that time for exploiting people. That's what reality TV was and still is. We followed the soap opera like real stories, or they followed reality TV like the soap operas because they were real stories, rather. UPN, the CW, demanded brains and explosive storylines. No one would have watched a TV show calling inspiring models with no conflict. As for staying close with her co-workers when the show was done, many people lose touch, especially if they were blaming her for firing them. And it was clearly Mark Pedowitz who demanded the firings. Ick says, good for her being in the doc. That said, her answers were highly kosher. She looked slightly psychotic. Giving a lot of them. Banks wasn't the only one involved in that train wreck of a show, but she definitely drove the goals and areas, and she comes off as very odious to her very core. Not sure where her career goes from here. Anyone who has ever come across Tyra places her among the worst of humankind. Those stories are real, and there are many more that are worse. Hold the executives accountable to Anonymous said. So I watched it. I have a lot to say. Here's the thing, right? With reality TV, and we cover reality TV over here a lot with our after show reviews. And of course, y'all know the brilliant, beautiful, gifted DG9 is in Cali. So she's in the production capital of the world, right? And I'm on the East Coast in Ohio, close to New York, where it's the media capital of the world, right? For all the news organizations and everything in between. I will say this, right? When you are filming a reality show, as sad as it is, people do love drama. Now, that does not mean you just do anything and put it on TV. I will say this, right? When it comes to, I think it was Shannon, right? Regardless if, she, because the circumstances was, she was in Milan, darling, Milan. Shout out to Edna Mo. And yes. Even though she was drunk, right? Just because she's drunk doesn't mean that SA shouldn't happen, right? I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's right. And while I do understand that they were following the reality as it was, in your heart when it feels too heavy, right? And we were consuming what we were consuming at the time. And yes, that was a different time period. But I would just ask anybody, right, that's saying that, there was woe, it's me stories and this, that, and the third. If any of that were to happen to you, let's just say that you got drunk on the show and you got essayed. Would that be cool for them to tape that and put it on TV? I mean, we're just asking questions here, right? And, there are unpopular opinions of not putting all this on Tyra and not jumping on the Tyra hate train. I just want you to know, you having that opinion is not going to make Tyra Banks come down to your YouTube channel to give a fuck about you. Just know that, okay? Just know that. I just want to say that because it's like, okay, you have an unpopular opinion, and what's your next topic that you're going to talk about later on today? Because you're going to move on to something else. Like, come on now. Just, my God. It's the delusions of grandeur for me. And anytime I ask that question of if any of this, a fifth core happened to you, would you have the same energy? No one has an answer for that. No one. When it came to Danny Jones, who won, right? And I also do understand that people feel that was a launching pad, right? in the same token that was a launching pad, if things were promised, they should have been executed, right? For example, there was a documentary from Vice about Hell's Kitchen, and one of the winners, they were going to cook, right? They wanted to be a chef, so they won the competition. They thought they were going to go cook. But turns out they were just a face, and they never got the chance to cook. So if you are being promised a prize package and you win that prize package, you deserve the prize package. Fair and simple. What are we doing here? Like, I get that sometimes people just want to have a difference of opinion, to have a platform, to exist and to feel like there's somebody when really they might move like a nobody in real life. But like, come on, y'all. We can't be this delusional, right? Danny Jones, who is also from Little Rock, Arkansas, woo, Pig Suey, Razorbacks. I always protect my people. She should have gotten that prize package, just like anybody else should have got that prize package. And yes, we can say that in the real world, there's colorism and this, that, there, and colorism is real. But also being responsible for what you are offering is real too. And the reason why I push back on the, oh, whoa, it's me, when it came to Tiffany, Tyra said that they mentored her off camera. So you can't come on YouTube and then say, well, it was up to the ladies to make it do what it do for their careers, when Tyra and her team offered mentorship to somebody else off camera. So if they can offer mentorship to somebody else off camera, then you can't follow through for one of your winners. And Danny said in a conversation 15 years later that there were doors that should have been open for you and had to fight for you. What the fuck? Seriously? Seriously? One of your, now I understand if it was a contestant that did not win, right? Because at the beginning, middle of the day, yes, we know it's competition. But for a winner, for you not to fight for them, that's fucked up behavior. And you're not going to make me feel no ways tired about it, okay? You're not going to make me feel bad. You're not going to drag me. You're not going to do any lives. You're not going to do this, that, the third, all around the world. You're not going to do that shit to Braylon Lee because you ain't nobody important, okay? A winner is a winner regardless. And that should have happened. Are we also going to say that other people being in blackface was cool? We're going to say that was cool too? Like, and for everybody saying, oh, to look at the show through a woke lens is wrong, there's a thing called freedom of speech. Did we not fight for Jimmy Kimmel to have his say-so with what he wanted to say about the president of the United States? I swear to God, sometimes I feel like I'm with me by myself in a world of my own imagination because nobody else is seeing the actual plot. And yes, Miss J and J Manuel, yes, they are responsible too. I agree. If you're going to blame one person, you got to blame all of them. But also, too, you can only do as much as you are allowed. So when it comes to, reality TV as well, there are vanity titles, right? And there are people who are actually in the production, right? The day-to-day, the minutia of it. For example, Moa Scott Young, who talked about, love and hip hop. She was on the Morning Hustle with washed up, broke down, and really just dilapidated L'Oreal. The reason why I say it's because she made fun of Michael B. Jordan for being corny, and now Michael B. Jordan is bigger than her existence. She also got roasted, dragged, and disrespectfully handled by the Stacey Abrams. And I'm sure there's a multitude of other dumb shit that she's done. Like, it amazes me how the media industry will just elevate anybody because they exist. And L'Oreal is one of those people who should not exist in the industry. I said what the fuck I said. That's like Ricky Smiley. It should be the Brat Morning Show. The Brat has more social capital and cultural capital than Ricky Smiley has ever had. Fight me. You won't, though. So moving on, like I said, when it comes to reality TV, right, there are titles and then there are people who are in it. Tyra is the main head in terms of the production, right? Now she's the creator, and she was an EP along with Kid Mock, right? So if Tyra said to Jay, I need you to do this, this, and that, and he could not offer any pushback, then that's what Jay had to do. So that's why people are being upset with Tyra, because it's on her head. This is not trying to tear a black woman down, okay? Just keeping it a buck. Same thing with Miss J. If Tyra said, Miss J, I need you to do this, that, and the third, and Miss J could only have done that, then that's it. But in the same token, if Tyra gave J Manuel and Miss J that freedom to be like, okay, whatever you want to do, we're going to sit down, review it, tweak it, this, that, and the third, and then I'm supporting you, and they did not do enough, then yes, that's fair. And that's why I cover pop culture, entertainment, what have you, in the way that I do it. If you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. Now, when it came to the firing of the 3J, of Miss J, J Manuel, and Nigel, I would not be surprised if the executive did say that, because you might want to fight for them, but the executives don't want them on. But that's the problem with executives. They are about the commerce and not the creative, right? So it's very layered and nuanced, but I look at it like this. Even if it was a balanced documentary with winners from America's Next Top Model, what happened is still what happened. Let me say that on the big screen. Even if they had winners from America's Next Top Model on the show, on the documentary rather, what happened is still what happened. Even if they had winners from America's Next Top Model on the documentary, what happened is what happened. Sorry, you can't get around that shit. I don't know what y'all want me to do. So that's my take on Tyra Banks. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Get the steak for everybody, but also too, what happened is what happened, and people have the right to be outraged over things that actually happened. And it kind of boggles my mind when people have a difference of opinion, but yet they might have a daughter. If your daughter went through a fifth core or half of that stuff, would you be okay with them, airing your daughter's misery on national TV? Sometimes I gotta make it personal in order to understand where we are. Okay, moving on. Jesus. Now, y'all. I forgot one more thing about America's Next Top Model. At the end of the documentary, Tyra said, I cannot wait for you to see what we got for Cycle 25. And a lot of people are not here for Cycle 25. Like, they don't want to be here for the Jennifer Hudson show, which got renewed for season 5. Child. Now, for those of you who may not have known, when Kelly Clarkson got her show canceled, but also too, her ex-husband went through cancer, right? And there was a lot of stress on her. And so also too, she wanted to spend more time for kids and that. So there was a lot of things compounding for Kelly Clarkson, right? So that made sense. Sherry Shepherd, it didn't make sense to me, because Sherry Shepherd, she's done The View, right? She's been a guest on other talk shows, right? She did a show called Match Made in Heaven on WeTV. Sherry Shepherd has been in the game for a long time, and she has a personality that, is a talkable personality. And Lauren LaRosa, she, went on her platform and said she just got back in New York, and we covered this live here on Brainless World Control Live. She got back in New York and said that she heard that Sherry Shepherd and Kelly Clarkson had their shows canceled, and Jennifer Hudson was the next one up. And then, of course, Rob Schuster, Nique from Nique, but Nice also said that Jennifer Hudson was also up. And so when I saw this, I'm just like, okay. And we're going to get into it because there's a lot that's not being said out loud. So let's get into it here. The Jennifer Hudson Show has been renewed for a 5th season by the Fox TV stations. The pickup of the Telepictures produced program, which is Telepictures is a Warner Brothers Discovery production company. Hosted by award-winning singer, actress Jennifer Hudson, comes at the time of major contraction in the already depleting syndicated daytime talk show space, with the Kelly Clarkson Show on NBC stations and Sherry on the Fox stations both ending this season. Give me a moment. I want to see something. Because there was a great post that, and I retweeted this on Instagram. I reposted it on Instagram a while back. Oh, no, go back. Because this post really did a lot of good in terms of symbolizing what people were really about when it came to daytime talk. Now, it was some months ago, so I gotta scroll. But as soon as I see it, I will definitely know what it is. Actually, let me just type it in. This is what I hate about. It was literally talking about why it was daytime talk was changing. I know as soon as I see it, it's going to piss me off. Now, I wanted to bring this up because I thought it was a very important point here. Not PR. Let me finish up this article, and then as soon as I see it, I will let you guys know about it. But it was a very important point here. So let me get back to this here. Okay, here we go. Read all that. With the Kelly Clarkson Show on NBC stations and Sherry on the Fox stations both ended this season. For the 2025-2026 season to date, the Jennifer Hudson Show has delivered year-over-year growth among adults 25 to 54, with viewership up plus 10% among women 25 to 54 on digital. It ranks as the #1 daytime talk show on TikTok and Threads, with the second most followed daytime talk show across social media, with its popular Spirit Tunnel surpassing 6 billion total views overall. Jennifer Hudson's a powerful force on all platforms and works incredibly well with all of our stations. We are excited to have her back for year 5, said Frank Chia, Executive Vice President of Programming for Fox Television Station. Produced by J Hud Productions and Telepictures of Warner Brothers Television Group Company, and distributed in national syndication by Warner Brothers Discovery Content Sales. Jennifer Hudson Show is executive produced by Hudson, Andy Lasser, Courtney Platt, Graham Murphy, and Walter Williams III. Now, if you wonder who Andy Lasser is, he was on the Ellen DeGeneres Show, so there was some holdover from there. Okay, here it is. Here it is here. I wanted to bring this up to y'all because I thought this was a very important point. I'm so glad that I saved it. So this brother right here, his name is Jefferson Steele. I want to show y'all this here. Jefferson Steele, branding coach. And he had a great program. I'm just showing you his profile so you understand who we're talking about. 435,000 followers. He's a brand coach, so he builds brands that stand the test of time. And he had this great commentary. If talk shows are dead, Why are 3-hour YouTube podcasts pulling millions of views with zero network backing? If talk shows are dead, why are 3-hour YouTube podcasts pulling millions of views with zero network backing? If TV talk shows are dead, why are 3-hour YouTube podcasts pulling millions of views with zero backing? No attention span didn't shrink. Tolerance for low stimulation, low agency media did. Tolerance for low stimulation, low agency media did. Tolerance for low stimulation, low agency media did. In the 2000s, the talk show host curated culture. In 2026, the algorithm curates culture. Consumers today would rather watch a raw YouTube breakup story than a media-trained press appearance. People no longer ask who has the biggest platform. They feel who feels the most aligned with my worldview, who has the audacity enough to have a perspective that gives voice to my own individual reasoning. Because where current daytime talk shows feel formatting does not create attachment, perspective does. Humans allocate attention where there is emotional validity and perceived authenticity, whereas traditional talk shows are scripted, brand match, and one-directional. But you see as a brand today, you cannot rely on polished authority or institutional credibility, but on voice, psychological resonance, and consistent perspective that builds community. A host like Wendy Williams was not only successful because she had access, she was successful because she was a personality with a perspective. That's not just branding, that's community. The lesson here is simple. Consumers don't want information, they want your interpretation, your perspective. And the moment your brand starts to feel safe instead of alive, the brand quietly deprioritizes it. Not because it's bad, but because it's predictable. So no, talk shows aren't dying because culture moved on. They're dying because they were built for scarcity of access, scarcity of celebrities. But we don't live in scarcity anymore. We live in abundance, and in abundance, the scarcest resource is not celebrity, it's perspective without delusion. And I have to say to this brother right here, let me get the name right here because I want to make sure that he gets his credit. Right here to Jefferson Asil, well done to you, my brother. Well done to you. This brother right here. This brother, well done. Because I fully agree. Now, y'all know we cover the creator economy a lot over here. By the way, shout out to the 11 people here. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Drop in the live chat. Give me your thoughts on what we're talking about here. Glad to have you all here. What I loved about this was he really focused on the magnitude of the space of what communication is. And I love how he broke down the fact of, well, hold on a second. Social media is rising. New media is rising. New media is rising and legacy media is falling, right? And right here, who feels the most aligned with my worldview and who has the audacity enough to have a perspective that gives voice to my own individual reasoning. And I think that's what people are looking for now when it comes to content. Whenever it's a new show, whether that's a sitcom, drama, whether it's a documentary, whether it's a unscripted, program, whether it's a special or live event, whatever piece of content, right? Game show as well. They are looking for, okay, what is the inch here that I can connect myself to? And can I make this a mile over time of giving a care about it? Like I said to y'all before, linear television showcases what people could be curious about. Streaming reflects what they embrace. Linear television showcases what people could be curious about. Streaming reflects what people embrace. Linear television showcases what people could be curious about. Streaming reflects what people actually care about. And so in the world that we live in today, people want to care about something, not because of the magnitude of how it can be seen, but how it resonates, soul to soul, right? And with Oprah Winfrey, the reason why she was so successful is because she could talk about anything, but she was down to talk with anyone. And when you have these talk shows that are so boxed in, where, okay, Kelly Clarkson, she talks to celebrities, but she also talks to everyday people that, you know, they have these curated stories. What we do on Brainley's Virtual Tour Live is we talk about what's happening in real time. Like I always say, the only script that I have, the only prompter I have is the destinations that I'm reading about. Other than that, everything else is off the top of the dome. And so when you have a talk show like Kelly Clarkson, when you have a talk show like Sherry Shepherd, when you have a talk show like Jennifer Hudson, Jennifer Hudson's an EGOT winner, right? Kelly Clarkson, first winner of American Idol, that set off a whole new wave of reality TV. Sherry Shepherd, like I said, has been in the game a long time. When you have those platforms, right? And I'm not leaving Tamron Hall out because Tamron Hall's a whole different class. She was on MSNBC with News Nation, one of the biggest shows on MSNBC, and she was a part of the Today Show, which was and still is the home of the foundation of morning television. So Tamron Hall's in a different class, but follow what I'm saying here. When you have those platforms, you can't talk about 7 different topics like this in talk shows like that. It works here because there is a freedom where we don't have commercial breaks unless I do something like this.
I'm loving it.
But if I never do a commercial, I can go as long as I want to. And being able to not have any parameters, it creates a different energy, right? So let's keep going. And right here, formatting does not create attachment, perspective does. And I love that he also said that, because formatting is like, okay, cool. I look forward to this segment, I look forward to that segment, but what's the meat of the show? What's that? What is that energy that keeps me coming back? What's that community that I can feel that I can contribute something to? And that's what this brother here is talking about with perspective. And right here, humans allocate attention where there's emotional validity and perceived authenticity. There's not an emotional validity and perceived authenticity because it has to be curated. Why? Because you have advertisers, you have stations, you have overhead, motherfuckers. I remember something that Johnny Carson said, right, about, you know, art versus, no, I think it was Conan O'Brien rather that said there's a war between art versus commerce. It's called show business for a reason. Without a show, you know, bringing in people, you can't make any money off of the show. And without the budget being right, you can't put on the show. So it's a yin and yang thing. It's this. And no matter how you try to break it, you know, I gotta break comments. No, I gotta break creative. No, it's not going anywhere. It's like a roller coaster. Once you are up that hill, there's only one way to go to get back into the station. You gotta go. You gotta go through all the loops. You gotta go through all the corkscrews. In the words of SpongeBob, you gotta make a loop-de-loop and pull, and sometimes the ending don't look too cool, okay? Shout out to SpongeBob. But right here, but on voice, psychological resonance, and consistent perspective that builds community. That is what brands are. So here's the thing. When I think of brands, I think of Nickelodeon, right? Nickelodeon Studios at Universal Studios Florida, which is what it was before it became Universal Land Resort. But before that, for those old school heads, it was Universal Studios Escape. But Nickelodeon Studios, that was the brand. The Kids' Choice Awards, that was the brand. All the shows and all that, that was the brand. The business is merchandising. It's licensing. It's advertising. It's all the boring shit no one wants to give a fuck about. Yes, you're in Media Class 101 today. I'm your Professor Brandon Lee. Nice to meet you. So, with this brother saying this, brands cannot be as polished and have institutional credibility. Now, I say that with a caveat, with a comma, because the authority should matter based on your actions over time. And the institutional credibility of how you have evolved and how you have moved through that space does matter. But that consistent booming sound has to be how you connect with your audiences. And with Wendy Williams, she wasn't only successful because she had access, she was successful because she was a personality with a perspective. I'm gonna read it 2 more times. Wendy Williams wasn't only successful because she had access, she was successful because she was a personality with a perspective. Wendy Williams wasn't only successful because she had access, she was successful because she was a personality with perspective. Fully agree. You can have access, but that don't mean you have your own voice. Let's keep going. And the moment your brain starts to feel safe instead of alive, the brain quietly deprioritizes it. Not because it's bad, but because it's predictable. Now, for those of you who watch this channel regularly, I do 2 things at the end of every show. I do this.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
I do that, and I do this.
Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.
Do you know why I play those 2 videos? Because it goes back to this. When your brand starts to feel safe instead of alive, when all you do is one thing, sometimes doing that one thing can make your channel or your brand feel safe. Like, all they can talk about is a person that has a Patreon that can do what the fuck they want to do, but yet you can't stand her, but yet you're making a whole live about her. That is being a hypocrite. Sorry. Like, what are we doing? And I want to talk about that too. It boggles my mind how people will talk about other people's decisions and movement, this, that, and third, when they don't have any movement of their own, where they had to wait till November 15th to create content of a particular show. But the person you're talking about is in a whole different echelon that you and your co-host will never reach to. Come on now, let's not be stupid. I don't need to do another math time. But with that being said, back to this. When all you do is celebrity, when all you do is arts and crafts, when all you do is shopping, when all you doing is fitness, right? It can feel safe if there's not diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging to showcase the different, realms of what you do. Okay, you can do arts and crafts. Cool. What about yarn? What about crayons? What about paint? What are the different areas of what you cover that can make your brand feel alive instead of just being narrow-minded? You see? So talk shows aren't dying because culture moved on. They're dying because they were built for scarcity. And so when you make a channel, when you move with a channel, and when you lead your channel with, this is what we do, this, that, and the third, people don't want to be boxed in. And it's weird because there are channels that are one-dimensional, but the subscriber base doesn't want to be one-dimensional. So you have a clash there mentally, ladies and gentlemen. You have a clash there. The reason why we don't have a clash here is because we got Tyra Banks, Jennifer Hudson, Jerry O'Connell, Gordan Ramsey, Warner Bros. Discovery, Linda Davis, and Fantasia. 7 different destinations, including some breaking news about some political news. 8 different topics in one show. But also, too, there is, let me go back. there is a polished authority here and an institutional credibility. That's the foundation that allows me to have the voice, the psychological resonance, and the consistent perspective that builds community. So it's not saying that polished authority and institutional credibility doesn't matter, but you can't use that foundation as your voice. Your voice has to be aligned with the foundation that you created. And also, too, they're dying because they were built for scarcity of access, scarcity of celebrities. In abundance, the scarcity of celebrity is not celebrity, it's perspective without delusion. Exactly. So if you can have perspective, but still have a pulse, you got made. But when your perspective becomes so safe that people can't feel you for who you are, that's when you fucked up and lost the plot. So that's been me, your one-on-one class of Brandon Lee. I will see you all next week. All right, y'all. Speaking of talk shows, child, Jerry O'Connell. My Lord. Oh, my God, Jerry O'Connell. So here we go from Deadline.com once again. Jerry O'Connell joins Rosanna Scotto on Good Day New York week-long co-hosting stint to serve as test run for Fox TV station's talk show. Now Fox has been doing, local talk shows with local Fox talent, right? And they have had, good, success. Rosanna Scotto with very special co-host Jerry O'Connell, Good Day New York, all next week, 7 to 10 a.m. Now, for those of you who don't know, Kurt Menefee, who, does Fox NFL Sunday, he did the show, I think, Tuesday through Friday, I believe, but he's ending that because the back and forth is too much, right? I think before that was Greg Kelly, but Greg Kelly has went on to Newsmax, but I think he might have got fired, but either way. So here we go, exclusive from Deadline.com. New York staple Rosanna Scotto will have Jerry O'Connell as guest co-host on Fox 5's Good Day New York next week. The stunt will serve as a dual purpose, I hear, in addition to O'Connell being a high-profile fill-in in the chair, which has been vacant since the recent departure of Kurt Menefee. The third hour of the Deals Morning Block will act as a trial run for a potential daily talk show headlined by Scotto and O'Connell for the Fox television stations, sources said. The last hour of Good Day New York is well suited for that, as it features lighter fare, including fashion, lifestyle, and celebrities. I want to pull something up. Give me one moment, y'all. Because this is giving me something. Let's see. Where is it? Because it used to. Give me a moment, y'all. Because here it is. Here, wait, is this it? Because there was, no, that's not it. That's not what I'm looking for. Jesus Christ. Okay. We're good. We're live, everybody. So just give me a moment. Morning show. But either, that's what. See. I knew I wasn't crazy. I know I could be crazy. Let me put it like this. I know I could get crazy, but I know I ain't crazy. Here it is. Here. This is what I was looking for right here. Okay. This is what I was looking for right here. Good Day Live. In 2001, Good Day LA spun off a nationally syndicated program called Good Day Live, an hour-long version of the local show with the same host. The program, which featured the same format of Good Day LA, although with more of an emphasis on entertainment news, interviews, and featured stories rather than news headlines, was distributed by 20th Television, was originally launched on Fox TV stations, the parent of KTTV, which operates Fox-owned and operated stations. Jillian Barbie was fired and Dorothy Lucy left the syndicated version. Yet both continued to host the LA version. They were replaced by Arthur Neville and Debbie Minneapolis. Good Day Live was canceled a year later due to low ratings. So I knew I wasn't crazy. Like I always say, y'all, if you understand what's happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. So it's giving that energy. They're trying to redo Good Day Live with this, potentially. The last hour of Good Day New York is well suited for that, as it features liar fare, including fashion, lifestyle, celebrities. It's also giving Good Afternoon America, which was hosted by Josh Elliott and Lara Spencer. It was a great show. Everybody loved it. But then Katie Couric had to come to Daytime Talk. And they would just stuck with Good Afternoon America. Would have been great. Now it's known as GMA3. It was GMA3, What You Need to Know. The coronavirus edition when Amy Robach was hosting, and then TJ Holmes came in, and then came more of a lifestyle show, and then TJ Holmes and Amy Robach, they screwed over their spouses. It was a whole big kerfuffle, and then it becomes what is today GMA3, which is the third hour of GMA. So there is that. Let's keep going. This is a modified and more financially efficient version of the model, involving a multi-week test run on the Fox TV stations for prospective talk shows that the major station group introduced in the late 2000s and employed through the 2010s. Top example of a talker that came out test runs was Deborah Mercury's The Wendy Williams Show, which ran on the Fox stations for 13 seasons. In summer 2019, the Fox stations also did a test run for Jerry O, a talk show hosted by Jerry O'Connell, which ultimately didn't move forward. In success, the Scotto O'Connell talk show will run across Fox stations, which include Fox 5, as well as outlets in top TV markets, including New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. There's a vacancy in Fox stations' daytime lineup for next season, as the group recently canceled the Wendy Williams Show successor, Sherry. O'Connell, who has appeared with Scotto on Fox 5 as a guest a number of times, has extensive daytime talk show experience. Is it extensive when you have actually done the work, or is it extensive because they needed a human being to fill a part of a segment? I'm just asking questions, okay? He's been a frequent guest host on another talk show that originated as a morning program on a local New York station, Live with Kelly and Mark. He was also co-host of CBS's The Talk, which The Talk ended to bring Beyond the Gates, and we are happy for that show. In addition to being a New York and Fox 5 institution, Scotto has a national profile from frequent appearances on Fox News and Fox Business, including a guest host on The Five. Here is a promo of O'Connell's Good Day New York stint. So we will see this here in a minute.
We hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every crust. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every.
What's up, everybody? Jerry O'Connell here. I don't know if you heard, but I'm going to be joining Rosanna Scotto for Good Day New York for a whole week. Starting Monday, Rosanna and Jerry. I like that.
Rosanna Scotto and Jerry O'Connell are teaming up to co-host Good Day New York for the entire week. Catch them on Good Day, 7 to 10 a.m. starting Monday on Fox 5.
Let's look at the two comments. Non-threat, harmless, nice, always legit, class of 2026. Okay. The thing that I was wondering about this was, did Rosanna Scotto ask for this? I think Rosanna Scotto, who has her own restaurant, by the way, I've heard it's lovely from from the likes of Wendy Williams and others. I don't think Rosanna Scotto asked for this. I really don't. And this is the thing. I think that there are plenty of other people that are way more talented than Jerry O'Connell. Like I said before, with Kelly Clarkson leaving NBC and with Sherry leaving Fox, I think something that would be amazing is, why don't you do a primetime competition to find the next talk show host for NBC and Fox? Take a swing. Good damn. Just Jerry O'Connell, man. Now, I'm not saying Jerry is not good people. He seems like a nice guy. He's a funny actor, all this stuff. But it's just like, you know how people like rap in their 40s and stuff, and you know it's been time for them to let it go, or you have a friend that's been doing a dream for a while and it's time to let it go. Now, that's different than a friend or person, rather, that they have been putting in the work and you see results from that. And there's different levels to the results, but I don't think Rosanna Scotto asked for this. I really, really don't. But hey, it's happening next week, and Jerry might be a talk show host once again. So saw that this morning. I'm like, we gotta talk about it, especially because of Jennifer Hudson, and you know, Tyra Banks also had a talk show. So moving on. With that being said, so let's go to Gordan Ramsey, everybody. Here we go from Variety.com. Right here. From Variety.com, Gordan Ramsey on his Netflix docu-series or documentary series, and never cooking for his abusive alcoholic father. Maybe that's a good thing. Here we go. Gordan Ramsey is showing his vulnerable side. His new Netflix docu-series, Being Gordan Ramsay, the celebrity gets emotional, even teared up several times while talking about his wife Tanya and their 6 kids, as well as his strained relationship with his abusive father, Gordan Sr., who an alcoholic who died of a heart attack in 1997. He was 53 years old. I think it's healthy to cry, Ramsey tells me over Zoom, just days ahead of the series premiere. I mean, I wouldn't be fucking Cuban. Being Gordan Ramsay chronicles his most ambitious project in his almost 30-year career, a 5-restaurant culinary school complex at the top of London's 22 Bishopsgate skyscraper. In no uncertain terms, Ramsey makes it clear that his father never appreciated his culinary pursuits. His dad died just as Ramsey was on the verge of launching what would become his sprawling restaurant, hospitality, and media empire. The elder Ramsey was an inspired musician. I grew up watching my father follow a career in music that didn't work for him, Ramsey said. My mates in the music business asked me, how the fuck do you know so much about Gibson and Fender Strats and Telecasters? How do you know about synthesizers? Those unfulfilled dreams led to an unstable childhood. I was lugging that gear up in and out bars in and out of Glasgow, where he played for $60-$70 a night. Ramsey recalls that he disappeared to Nashville, Tennessee. They would have all the collectors at the door, and my mom in tears answering the door because there were people chasing her for money that my dad owed them. He previously opened up about his father's emotional and physical abuse towards him, his mom, and his siblings in his 2006 memoir, Humble Pie. I don't know if he was interested in what I did, I think. Ramsey says, I remember seeing him with a glass of red wine, and he filled it up with Sprite because he tried to tell me it tastes better. Lemon, lime, grape wine, you know. I mean, hang on, let me see something real quick. I'm gonna be a little bit facetious here for a minute. Lemon, lime, wine. Let me just see. Okay, listen. Apparently, Gordan Ramsay's dad was onto something, because look at this. Lemon, lime, white wine. So obviously he was onto something, but just the wrong format, because it's white wine, not red. But let's roll back to our destination here. Okay. Wow. If my sommeliers saw that, right here, I remember seeing him with a glass of red wine, and he filled it up with Sprite because he tried to tell me it tastes better. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, if my sommeliers saw this, or any of my chefs heard my father talk like this, they'll think I was a fucking idiot. Okay, Dad, why? Well, it brings out the grape. I just sat there like that thinking, oh my God, my head was in my hands. My head was in my hands. He continues, I never got to cook for him. I think in many ways I got to live with that. Maybe that's a good thing. I think things happen for a reason, and him not being sat at the table getting looked at and spoiled in my restaurant, I don't know if he could handle that, if I'm being honest. His mom, Helen, on the other hand, is one of the most important women in my life, Ramsay notes. I've always been a mother's boy, he says, smiling. I won my first Michelin star years ago. I said to Tanya, look, I'm embarrassed. My mom's in a high-rise in a tenement block. She can barely afford to pay the rent. I'm going to take out this loan. Mom must have been 19 when she had me. She was in her late 40s and never owned a property. He bought her a 3-bedroom bungalow. That for me was more important than winning my first Michelin star, because Mom always spoke about owning her own house, having her own bedroom, bathroom, back garden, having all the plants, the ornaments, and everything. And then there is Gordan Ramsay's family there. So Adam Petey, Holly Ramsey, Tanner Ramsey, Oscar James Ramsey, Tilly Ramsey, and Henry Farrow attended the launch of Being Gordan Ramsay on February 16th in London. Beautiful family. Ramsay, who turned 60 in November, admits he feels guilt for putting career before spending time with his and Donna's eldest kids, Megan, fraternal twins Holly, Jack, and Tilly. The series shows him doting on their younger sons, Oscar 7, Jesse 2. I want to be the father to my family that I never grew up with. He says, I'm the opposite. Everything I grew up with and witnessed, I'm the opposite. I never to this day been wandering around the dining room for a glass of champagne, messing around, drinking with customers. I don't do that. In one of the docu-series most heartbreaking moments, Ramsay details his brother's about with heroin addiction. And just when viewers of the series think Bishop's Gate could be his swan song, he tells Tom, spoiler alert, in the final episode, spoiler alert, he's thinking about opening a new place in New York City. What the fuck would I do? He says, when I ask if he ever thinks of slowing down, what am I going to do? Go and have matcha lattes and go to fucking yoga classes every day and turn to a fat, lazy chef that wants to sit there and wallow on his boat? No, I have a responsibility to talent, and I've made my bed, but I want to sleep in it comfortably, and I do not want to retire. Being Gordan Ramsay is available now on Netflix. You know what? Shout out to Gordan Ramsay, man. You know, I know a lot of people, may not like him for this, that, and third, but he has what Food Network did what they did, so Gordan Ramsay could run, right? And what Gordan Ramsay has done for Fox with Hell's Kitchen and MasterChef Junior and Next Level Chef, and what he's doing with Fox Creator Studios with Rosanna Pansino. He brought the Food Network to a broadcast. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry. He brought the Food Network over to a network broadcast television platform, and he has opened up the door for cooking in so many ways. And you think about all these cooking shows, right? There was Food Fighters, the Great Bake Off, this, that. There's so many cooking shows that have been on ABC, NBC. Has been because of Fox. Like, you gotta remember, Fox was that dark horse, right? Nobody really paid attention to Fox, but when they put American Idol on Fox, it evolved reality television forever. When Fox put on Empire, it evolved what scripted television could be. So shout out to Gordan Ramsay for making it do what it do, for sure. All right, y'all, more Breaking News Virtual Tour Live coming up right from this space right here and right now. From Variety.com once again. Inside, Warner Brothers Discovery moves among many staffers shift in favor of Netflix sale versus Paramount takeover. Good on the staffers, damn it. Who will Warner Bros. Discovery employees welcome as their new overlords? The feeling among the rank and file has changed over the last several months. Most Warner Bros. Discovery staffers are now supportive for Netflix's deal to acquire Warner Bros. Studios and HBO Max, rather than having Warner Bros. Discovery surmised in its entirety. David Ellison, Paramount Skydance, sources tell Variety. Inside Warner Bros. Discovery, the Paramount versus Netflix debate seems to have largely been resolved after having more than 2 months to consider what acquisition by either conglomerate might mean for the legacy of Warner Bros. And more important, for the current workforce, there appears to be a rather large consensus that Netflix would be preferable. but that doesn't mean everyone is room for Netflix to win the prolonged sale process. On Burbank lot, big pockets of skepticism remain about how Netflix's ownership will affect the film studio and the future of theatrical distribution in general, despite repeated pledges made by Netflix brass about committing to a 45-day exhibition window for theatrical films. But Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters have won over many Warner Bros. Discovery staffers with their assurances and vision for how they plan to operate the combined company. There is now some familiarity with the idea and acceptance that big chunks of Warner Bros. Discovery will become a part of Netflix, said one Warner Bros. Discovery corporate executive. I want to bring something up here real quick. Oh yeah, definitely do that there. I'm just looking up some stuff, y'all. Okay, there we go. Okay. Let me do this. Ted Sarandos. That's what I'm looking for. Because Ted Sarandos recently did a right here. So you see Ted Sarandos did a podcast a day ago making the case for buying Warner Brothers. But also too, he was on Bloomberg TV. So right here, let's watch this real quick.
Missed packages. So he scheduled his deliveries with Amazon Business and positively prospered.
Oh, that's cute.
Amazon
that was a good
Business.
commercial. Very
Smart
nice.
business
Very
buyers.
nice. Here we go.
Peter Piper's pepper picking proved painful.
Really?
So he ordered the supplies he needed from
Okay.
Amazon
Why?
Business and positively prospered. Amazon Business, your partner for smart business buying.
The less than straightforward question that everyone has, of course, is what happens next. But I wanted to put it to you like this. Does Netflix have the balance sheet, the sort of financing flexibility and the will, really, to amend, improve, boost its bid for Warner Brothers Discovery's studios and streaming business if needed?
Let me tell you, we feel very good about the position we're in right now. So this process opened up. Warner Brothers Discovery just determined that it was in their strategic best interest to sell these assets. We entered into a negotiation. It was a very clear bidding process that they laid out for us, which we followed and won that bid. I think in the alternative, B-Sky has gone, missed every deadline. They've been taking 9 runs at this bid, and they just don't accept this outcome. So what we've done here is we've given Warner Brothers Discovery a 7-day window to get some clarity about what Paramount is offering for this company. I believe that it's important to have that clarity. I think it's important that the Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders deserve to have that certainty and clarity about this deal.
So let me pause it here. Ted Sarandos did a very good job at giving the lay of the land, because with Paramount right now, I'm gonna just be real with y'all. I feel like Paramount's on its last legs. I do. And the reason why I say that is because we've covered the Paramount Skydance deal over here quite extensively. And one of the articles said that they are going to invest in their cable channels without investing any money. Where do they do that at? Right? I talked about the rebranding of MTV as Movement Television. I talked about BET being the Ebony magazine. network, or being the Ebony, or having the mindset of an Ebony magazine for BET. I talked about VH1 having the mindset for Jet magazine, right? Because VH1 moved from MTV control over to BET a couple of years ago. And with David Ellison, it's like, I don't know what his thing is. It's just like the more assets that you buy, the more you have to invest in them. So stick with what you have. And I feel like this is given the energy of that story about Icarus. Y'all remember the story about Icarus? Don't fly too close to the sun. After you got told, if you fly to the sun, it's going to melt your feathers. And he plopped down and died. So I feel like that's what Paramount is doing now. Let's get to this here.
They're calling it Q Day, the moment when quantum computers are powerful enough to break the encryption that protects our digital world. As Q Day approaches, the real challenge is how do you protect data in motion?
I've at plus the value of Discovery Global. By the way, it's the deal that they want. It is the deal that they asked for. These are the assets that were for sale. So the more complex thing is buying the whole company. When you do that, then you're buying these European sports networks. As you know, sports rights in Europe are incredibly highly regulated, as is the television landscape, which they'd be stepping themselves into. So I would argue that our deal is quite simple: $27.75 per share plus the value of Discovery Global, and which I think is an incredible asset. And they do too. That's why that they set the offer up this way. That's why when we were bidding, we bid for the assets that were for sale.
If Discovery Global is a great asset, I'm just wondering, have you guys talked about just buying the whole company and doing the spin yourself?
No, as you know, we're the linear broadcast business is not something that we're interested in, but others are. And I think when I look at the business, particularly those European networks are not in decline the way that some of the way they are in the U.S. So it is not of our interest, but it's I'm sure of interest of many.
Now I want to pause it here for a minute because Netflix has flip-flopped many times, right? They said they were never going to get into news, and according to Sim4, they did a pilot with the Daily Beast of a 30-minute weekly show. They said they would never get into, live events, and they did that horrible Love is Blind reunion. They also got into, they said they would never do live sports, and they did the Christmas, they did the Christmas NFL game, the Beyonce Bowl, right? And of course, they hire Ellie Duncan from ESPN to be the face of their sports division and to be able to do other things. And of course, too, y'all know Star Search was live on Netflix as well. So they flip-flopped before, but they have been very consistent of they don't want to be in the linear TV business. Now, I will say this, right? When I look at the media map here, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. I need to bookmark that. So when I look at the media landscape here, give me a moment. I'm bringing up the Evan Shapiro map. And Evan Shapiro is a legend in the world of media, if you don't know. His analysis is, you think my analysis is something, it is, but Evan Shapiro has many ties and many resources that he can find out some tea quicker than I could. And I can, but anyway, I do okay. I do decently. I do fairly well. So here is the media universe of 2026, right? So when you look at Netflix, right? Right here, when you look at Netflix, right, $352 billion. Let me hold $1 billion, okay? Now, when you look at, where is Warner Bros. Discovery? Damn, what's up? get no less person. It's Comcast. Discovery better be. Oh, right here, Warner Bros. Discovery. Okay, but if you if you want to view Paradise, just simply look around and view it. So right here, as you can see, Warner Bros. Discovery, 68 billion, right? Whoa, okay. Hi, nice to see you. So they have all these networks, right? I want to look at TBS for a second. And I'm gonna do something live right here. Actually, you know what? Let me do this because we got time today. We got time because I really do not mind digging into this, and I think that there is a plan for Netflix and linear TV. I do, I absolutely do, and you know what? I may save that for tonight. I may save that. I'll table it, but. If you know me well, and y'all do, I'm always finding the inch and making it a mile. So give me some time tonight. Give me some time. Let's get back to this.
Ted, you are competing in a politically sensitive media deal. There is reporting, and we are in a time where the Ellisons and their relationship to the Trump administration has been discussed. It's also reported, of course, that you met with the president, I think, on November 24th. How are you weighing that and assessing that in this scenario, that relationship between Paramount's leadership and this administration?
So I wanted to pause there just to kind of give you guys the lay of the land with that. Shout out to Bloomberg TV, and then also to this podcast here, which I've seen this guy before. I think he is a media reporter for Puck. But as you can see here, talks about Netflix business model. Rob Schuster defends the acquisition by saying it will accelerate Netflix's already successful business model, providing more content jobs rather than signaling weakness. Sorrento's argues against the idea that Netflix will become a dominant competition killing force, saying the entertainment market is highly diverse, multiple bidders and platforms, including YouTube, right? So just wanted to say that. And then, of course, with the regulatory scrutiny, they are not, Netflix is its own island. So they will have to go through regulatory scrutiny of, okay, you know, what's your licensing deals, this, that, and third, because it's streaming, right? So just wanted to bring that to the forefront. Okay, back to our article here. Okay, here we go. At this moment, Warner Bros. Discovery is still in play. The company opened a 7-day window for talks with Paramount Skydance with Netflix's approval to see if Ellison and its backers will raise their bid over the $30 a share they have stuck with in their most recent offers. For now, Warner Bros. Discovery board is still recommending investors vote for the Netflix deal at the March 20th special meeting of shareholders. The negotiating window with Paramount ends Monday, February 23rd. Warner Bros. Discovery is set to hold its quarter four 2025 earnings call just a few days later on February 26th, where things could still be up in the air. Netflix has 4 days to make a counteroffer in the event Paramount puts forward a higher bid. According to insiders, following the Netflix Warner Bros. Discovery December 5th deal announcement and Paramount's launch for a hostile takeover effort, the initial sentiment inside Warner Brothers was divided depending on the situation. Based on where establishers thought strategically they might fare better under Paramount and Netflix ownership. In the early stages, there were definitely departments that thought Paramount might be a better choice. For some at HBO, for example, figured HBO Max would easily be a bigger dog versus Paramount Plus. And at Warner Bros. Studios, there was fear that Netflix would shift strategy for productions to feed its own streaming beast. That would make sense, but of course, you know, it took legacy media to create new media, so you need that yin and yang, that art and commerce combination, that chocolate and vanilla combination. But Paramount Skydance's unrelenting cost cutting and layoffs since that deal closed in August became a warning sign for Warner Bros. Discovery staffers that the same would likely happen at Warner Bros. Discovery should a merger happen. Paramount has forecasted upwards of $6 billion in cost synergies if merged with Warner Bros. Discovery, which would mean big job cuts rather under Netflix. According to the company's plan, the film studio, the TV studio will all survive and remain Warner Brothers branded, but Netflix content will primarily be created at that studio, right? And of course, the television studio, Warner Unscripted Television, which The Bachelor, everything else, Telepictures. So now Netflix will be able to get into the world of television. So even though they're not getting into linear television, they are still really into linear television because they'll have the TV studio be able to create content for third-party platforms, right? And we did talk about potentially how there could be a partnership with Netflix and the CW and HBO to produce content for the CW. Let me flip that verse around back. What I meant to say was there could be a partnership where, wait a minute. A lot of thoughts going on right now. I did talk about how there could be a partnership with Netflix, HBO, and the CW to be cross-collaborating, to be producing shows for each other. So the CW studios can produce shows for Netflix and HBO and Netflix can produce shows for the CW, and HBO and the CW can produce shows for Netflix, potentially. So we did talk about that. And remain Warner Brothers branded. Many of the film folks inside Warner Bros. Who initially bought into the worries that surroundings would kill the theatrical exhibition business have come to believe that Netflix plans to keep the Warner Bros. Business mostly intact. One Warner Bros. Discovery insider says that when the bidding war first erupted, nobody wanted a transaction. There was already a sense of awareness from the integration of the two companies following Discovery Communications merger with Warner Media, which closed in April of 2022. When news of Paramount's interest in acquiring Warner Bros. Discovery came out in September, Warner Bros. Discovery employees were still processing the company's plan split into two entities, with one with studios and streaming, and the other mostly housing linear TV networks. In chart regarding Netflix's proposed acquisition, the key moment in changing hearts and minds at Warner Bros. Discovery came December 17th, when 2 weeks after announcing their deal with Warner Bros. Discovery, Sorrentos and Peters visited the Warner Brothers studio lot, hosted by Warner Bros. Discovery chief David Zaslav, and the Netflix studio addressed employees in a town hall style appearance. Ted and Greg really worked at Warner Brothers studio. Executive says they spoke directly about their intentions and why they wanted it. That put a lot of people in a better place about it. Says another insider, even HBO seems to be at peace with Netflix more than it was in the beginning. HBO execs realized they could follow John Landgraf's model of FX, housed within Disney Entertainment Television, which Disney's still getting rid of Hulu, which is a fucking dumbass decision. I've told y'all that many times, because Disney does not understand children grow up to be adults, and they need to bring back Touchstone Pictures. Hulu has 100 million downloads on the Play Store. And also, too, Disney does have a free ad-support television service, so Disney could buy Roku. And if they brought back the ABC app, they could have the ABC app, Roku, and also Hulu as different pathways for content creators and independent artists, and they can have those platforms for adult content. Moving on. Of being a prestige standalone brand inside the new company, for example. Meanwhile, Paramount Skydance's Ellis and Cozy relationship with the 47th administration has given Warner Bros. Discovery staffers pause as the recent moves by the company swings CBS News to the right under the leadership of Barry Weiss. Leadership is my lord, that's not the right word for her. I would say vagina tatership. She's a woman, y'all. Calm down. CBS News editor-in-chief. People quickly saw the craziness of the Ellison's. Warner Bros. Discovery employee says, under the Netflix deal, Warner Bros. Discovery networks like CNN, TBS, HGTV, Food Network, and the Oprah Winfrey Network will be spun off into Discovery Global, a new company headed by Gunther Winterfeld as CEO. Paramount's proposing to buy Warner Bros. Discovery in total, so the studios and the streamers and the networks buying it all at one time. And Paramount's recent moves with CBS, as well as CBS lawyers, intervened to keep an interview with Democrat Senate candidate James Tirico off the Late Late Show with Stephen Colbert broadcast had disturbed those within the TV side of Warner Bros. Discovery's house. And that YouTube, and now that video's on YouTube, and it's got millions of views. So CBS is really dumb as fuck for allowing Skydance to buy them. Honestly, this is one of those times where if I won Powerball Mega Millions, I would have bought Paramount, and I would have just done everything I told you I was going to do, and just go forth and prosper and multiply and just make it do what it do. But such is life. To watch CBS News crumble is discerning. or disconcerting rather. When Paramount's trying to come in and buy Warner Brothers Discovery, including CNN, says a CNN source under Weiss's leadership, for example, 11 members out of production staff of about 40s on CBS Nightly News, or CBS Evening News rather, have opted to take buyouts as a new round of layoffs could be coming. Roddy recently reported that CBS News is veering toward dysfunctional management team led by Barry Weiss that doesn't value the standards held by veteran journalists. Best outcome for CNN, the news network staff believes, is to be a part of the Discovery Global fold. Meanwhile, the evidence of what happened when Disney purchased the 21st Century Fox assets, which essentially erased the entire Hollywood studio, is fresh for Warner Brothers staffers, many of whom are lifers or have spent decades on the Burbank lot. There's a specific Warner Brothers culture that comes from a company that has managed to stay mostly intact despite several ownership changes in recent years. The question of what happens to the Warner Brothers lot, as well as the Warner Brothers film and TV studios, is alarming when staffers they are pondering the likelihood that Paramount is the winning suitor. Those legendary properties could undergo a dramatic upheaval. For his part, Ellison has promised that a combined Paramount Warner Brothers will produce at least 30 films for theatrical release annually. Long before Netflix signed a deal to buy Warner Brothers, studio personnel had reassigned themselves to the fact this last ultimate plan was probably to sell the company. There are still widespread suspicions that Netflix will honor the film slate's existing theatrical commitments before ultimately shortening the windows to the point where the theater business is threatened. One Tommy executive predicted that Sorrento's might be more interested in theatrical than its public comments about the movie-going experience being outdated. Like I said, right now at AMC theaters, you can go watch right now during the day the Winter Olympics. So I believe that movie theaters will become content theaters where you're not just watching movies anymore. You're watching the Olympics, you're watching the Oscars, the Grammys, the Tonys, the Emmys. There's a platform called Phantom Events, and they have done musicals on big screens for years and many other live events, right? So I think the movie theater industry will be fine. They just got to evolve quickly. And I only say that too because Beyonce's Renaissance film and the Eras Tour films made buku money for the theaters as well. Noting that he loses out main top projects because Netflix can promise a more robust rollout in cinemas. There's also the incremental revenue streams that ticket sales can open up, as well as a chance to raise the cultural profile of films that hit theaters before they premiere on the service. To say nothing of Warner's arsenal of intellectual property, this is a long-term play. The executive predicted it can get Netflix into consumer products and theme parks. It opens up a lot of avenues. In the Netflix Bros Live, I talked about that specifically into the consumer products with merchandising and theme parks. Go watch that live after this one, because I really said basically everything that Netflix could do with Warner Brothers in that. Sorrento's, for his part, has said his comments that were dismissive of the movie theater experience came before Netflix was in a position to own a major supplier in the theatrical business. I want to win opening weekend. I want to win box office, Sorrento said in a recent interview with the New York Times. The Warner Brothers film studio leaders, Pam Abadi and Michael DeLuca, are riding high on a series of box office successes like Sinners and Weapons that could make them a valuable addition to either Netflix or Paramount. Those companies have already a talented crop of executives in place who many may not want to share authority. As for James Gunn and Pete Safran, the heads of DC Studios, their jobs seem more secure, with production about to start a few weeks on Superman, Man of Tomorrow, the long-awaited sequel to The Batman. Potentially hitting cameras by the end of May. And of course, I gotta do a joke. I gotta do a joke, child. Let's see here. We're almost done, y'all, with this destination here. Give me one moment. I'm gonna need you to do it for me, Justin. Just a couple of times for me, good sir. Just please.
Hey. It's gonna be May. 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 It's gonna be May.
Oh my God. Okay, back to our destination. Oh my God. Just one more time.
It's gonna be May. It's gonna be May. It's gonna be May.
Okay, we're done, y'all. For real, we're done. Placing them at this juncture will likely be too disruptive. If there's any piece of advice Warner Brothers executives have for Netflix, is to keep the current Warner Brothers structure intact as possible inside the new entity, keeping it functional, and that will help make the transition more of a success, sources say. Of course, the looming prospect of a major merger acquisition event is top of mind for everyone at Warner Brothers Discovery's divisions, but until a deal is done and closed, it's got to be business as usual. Everyone is thinking about it. One Warner Brothers Discovery staffer says the main vibe is people want this to be resolved. For now, this insider says it's heads down and truck along and do your thing. As one Warner Brothers CEO employee confessed, people just want this to be over. So that is everything you need to know about Warner Brothers Discovery and where they are with Paramount and Netflix. So I'll keep you updated with anything else that you need to know. All right. More news coming your way, more destinations in addition to that as well. From blacknews.com, here we go. Black teacher deleted in car crash during ICE operation in Georgia. Yeah. Jesus. Linda Davis, an African-American teacher from Chatham County, Georgia, was deleted when Oscar Vasquez Lopez, who was fleeing from ICE, crashed into her car. Dr. Davis was driving near Hissy K-8, kindergarten through 8th grade school on Monday morning when 38-year-old Oscar Vasquez Lopez collided her vehicle around 7:45 a.m. Authorities said Homeland Security was conducting an operation when they tried to pull over Oscar Vasquez Lopez. He refused to stop, sparking a chase that ended when he slammed into Davis's car. Dr. Davis, a teacher at Hesh K-8 school, was rushed to the hospital but did not survive. Her colleagues described her as a beloved member of our school family. Former co-worker Aisha Buchanan said she always made you feel like you mattered, whether it was a custodian or a teacher, a principal, or even a student. You always matter. That was her message to everybody. According to WLBT, Lopez, a Guatemalan national, filed deportation order signed in 2024, was arrested at the scene. He now faces charges including first-degree homicide by vehicle reckless driving without a valid license, and failing to obey the controls. Records show he had no previous criminal history in Chatham County. Local leaders said the crash may have been preventable. Chatham County Chairman Chester Ellis said law enforcement was unaware ICE would be chasing Lopez in the area, and local no chase policies are meant to protect citizens. Police Chief Jeff Halley offered condolences and called the incident likely preventable. DHS officials are cooperating with the police investigation. Meanwhile, Chatham County community mourns Davis. Remember her impact as a teacher who deeply cared for everyone around her. First of all, very sad that this happened. I am glad that that Oscar Vasquez Lopez is being held responsible because, like I said, should ICE be chasing after Americans that have done nothing wrong? No, they should not. Should they be deleting people in the middle of the fucking day? No, they should not. And should they be big mad when people release their names and Kristi Noem shouldn't be the prostitute for ICE? No, that should not happen, that Kristi Noem defends this behavior. And no, it should not happen that their names get released. But when you go against one, you go against all. With that being said, this life should still be here. Okay? So much love and prayers and everything in between to Linda Davis and Chatham County, Georgia, and her family and friends, and the SK through 8 school. Teachers matter, ladies and gentlemen. Amen. Amen and amen. Woo! We got a lot more going on here, y'all, because we have one more destination here. So here we go. Shout out to rollingout.com, celebrating 25 years, yes, indeed, of being platforming onto the next 25 years. Here we go. Fantasia shares dad's mugshot as family feud heats up. You heard me correctly. Fantasia Barrino shares dad's mugshot as family feud heats up. Fantasia shares dad's mugshot as family feud heats up. The R&B star, I would say legend, because hello, I Believe, one of the biggest anthems from American Idol ever, defended her husband Kendall Taylor after her father publicly criticized her romantic Valentine's Day engagement. So she is married, but it was a renewal proposal, right? Fantasia Barrino isn't holding back anymore. The R&B singer unleashed a fierce response Wednesday evening after her father publicly attacked the Valentine's Day proposal, even sharing his mugshot from a 2024 DV arrest. The family dispute erupted on social media this days after what should have been a joyous celebration of love. The drama stems from a romantic moment on February 14th when Kendall Taylor surprised his wife of 11 years with a formal proposal during her Houston concert. Taylor walked on stage with tears streaming down his face, dropped to one knee, and presented her with an upgrade 11-carat diamond ring, 1 carat for each year they've been together. The couple married in 2015, just 3 weeks after me, and skipping all traditional formalities, including an engagement. Taylor explained during the emotional moment that he wanted to make something right, knowing that good woman desires a proposal, but a godly woman deserves one. Father launches social media attack. Joseph Barrino took to Facebook days after the vow proposal with accusations that shocked followers. He called the moment fake and questioned whether Taylor's tears were genuine or manipulation. The post went further, alleging that financial advisors from Fantasia's company warned him that Taylor was probably stealing money with no paper trail. Joseph claimed the financial committee was subconsciously fired and painted a picture of missing funds. He referenced Fantasia's past financial struggles, suggesting Taylor bore responsibility. The post urged people to pray for his daughter while casting doubt on her husband's character and intentions. The timing proved particularly painful given the couple's very public celebration of their love. Millions had watched the proposal video online celebrate what appeared to be a beautiful milestone in relationships. Joseph's comments threatened to overshadow that joy with serious allegations. And so Ricky Smiley and Fantasia have been friends for years, and so Ricky Smiley came his social media and made do what it do, and he said that he was going to do a whole day where fans could call in and give their love and appreciation and encouragement to Fantasia Barrino. So this is the dad. And shout out to this content creator, the Stony Love Show. She did a podcast episode with him, or interview rather with him. Here we go.
One more thing. Listen, I seen if Ricky Smiley is looking at it or whatever, Ricky had everybody that wants to come follow him in the morning and to do this, that, and the other, so he could listen. Everybody knows that is just a publicity stunt for you, Ricky. Don't do that, because I only want you only want to make your ratings go. Don't do that, man, because first of all, you're doing worse than I'm doing. If you take it and put it out there, and then not only that, you're saying something that you don't know nothing about, you could get in trouble.
We must get the facts before we speak on any given situation.
One more thing.
Woo! Wow, that's that's a strong accusation, motherfucker. Ooh, Lord. Man, that is that's strong. That is strong. That is strong for him to say that was very strong. Now I'm looking at Ricky Smiley's YouTube channel right now to see if he's responded to Fantasia's dad. That was a strong accusation to say that you're only doing this. You're only doing this for the promotion of your show and to make your show elevate. That's like, good damn. Let's see here. No, I'm not seeing it there. Let me see if it's in this show here. Let me see. man, that is, ooh, Lordy. Yeah, man, that's, man, listen, I mean, even though I believe Ricky Smiley does not deserve the platform that he has, and I believe that, you know, the Brat should have that morning show, Ricky Smiley is a media personality. You know what I mean? So it just is what it is, child. I'm trying to see in his morning show. Okay, so wake up calls, listeners giving, call in to give shout outs to Fantasia. Shout outs to express support for Fantasia. Okay. Okay, so no response from Ricky Smiley. No response, child. Let's keep going here. Okay, here we go. So right here is the moment, right there. Singer responds with deleted post. Fantasia didn't stay silent for long. Within an hour, she fired back with a response that quickly went viral before being deleted. She called Joseph a donor rather than a dad. Oh, shit. Ooh, good damn, 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 good damn. Let me see something here, because I want to see if she they say it was a deleted post, but y'all know with social media they always re-upload it. Okay, so here it is here, y'all. Here it is here. Give me a moment. Child. I told y'all, social media will always keep it a buck right here. So here it is here, y'all. So here it is. Fantasia, I wasn't going to do this, but this is guy I hand. Joseph Burrito, I can't even call you a dad or a father. You are a donor. We have covered you. We covered for you long enough. My mom and me have made you look like you were and okay, man. But now you have come for my king. Tonight I will go live, and behind me will stand all who know you. How can someone steal if I, Fantasia Taylor, is the CEO and my king Kendall Taylor is the president of all companies? Tonight I shall help you finish the war you started, and then posted the mugshot shot. Let's roll home. There's the post, y'all. This post included his mugshot from a 2024 arrest on charges related to misdemeanor DV. Fantasia wrote that she and her mother had covered him long enough, making him look like an okay man when the reality differed. She declared that he had crossed the line by coming after her king. Singer threatened to expose everything during a live video, saying she would help finish the war he started. She addressed the financial allegations directly, pointing out that she serves as CEO while Kendall holds the president title in all their companies. Her question was pointed about how someone could still win both spouses hold leadership positions, though Fantasia deleted the post. Our screenshots spread rapidly across social media platforms. Fans largely rallied to her defense, knowing the public nature of Joseph's attack warranted a public response. History of family tension. This confrontation represents the latest chapter in a complicated family history. Joseph sued publisher Simon & Schuster for $10 million in 2006 over his portrayal in Fantasia's autobiography, Life is Not a Fairy Tale. He claimed the book contained malicious untruths about him. Kendall revealed that he had spoken to Joseph only a handful of times during the 11-year marriage, while telling their daughter Keziah has never met her grandfather despite being born in 2021. Joseph has reportedly asked Fantasia for money on multiple occasions, including a request for $3,500, which the husband actually said you should give it to your dad, even though Fantasia did not want to give that to him. I saw that somewhere else too. The singer and her husband built their blended family of 6 children through significant challenges. They survived bankruptcy, lost a home. Fantasia paid off $1 million tax debt. They struggled with fertility for 3 years before welcoming Keziah, their only child, together. So here is the news here. And shout out to Double D Mother, back on news. Shout out to her. And here it is here. So now we don't know where Fantasia went live. We don't know if she went live on Instagram or YouTube. Usually with celebrities, they're live. They'll usually go live on their Instagram, but then again, don't know. Husband defends his reputation. Taylor responded with a 17-minute video defending himself against the allegations. He displayed his college degrees, detailed his business accomplishments, establishing his credentials separate from his famous wife. He explained that they married secretly, specifically to avoid performance manipulation from outside forces. The entrepreneur emphasized that their relationship began with him asking permission to pray for Fantasia rather than any material interest. She told Billboard in 2016 that she'd been fasting from relationships and praying for someone who could cover her family spiritually. The couple stands united against the accusations, presenting a front solidarity. However, the public nature of the family rift leaves questions about whether reconciliation remains possible or even desired at this point. So, I truly believe that there's a way that you go about things. And for the dad to go on social media and accuse his daughter's husband from stealing money, this, that, and the third, it's not right. It's not cool. It's disrespectful. You should be able to make it do what it do and call your daughter. You should be able to make it do what it do and call your son-in-law and have that conversation. Because, like, sir, Fantasia is that legend. Like, she's went from American Idol, right, to The Color Purple. Like, she is that woman, right? And so for you to not recognize the magnitude of what your daughter has went through and call her directly and just give her that respect, because like this can impact how she moves in the industry. Y'all know one wrong move, one wrong word, one wrong statement, one wrong thing, this, that, and the third, rather, can destroy everything. So I just didn't think that was cool. With Fantasia, wanting to go live about it, I feel that, she's got every right to go live about it. Absolutely. If you do something publicly, child, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You do something public, you won't get something public, right? So, I mean, if Fantasia doesn't want to reconcile with her dad, that's her right. And I know I said what I said in the 90 Day Fiance review of, Jamal has one mom, and that's true. But in the same token, too, you should not be able to negate your peace, right, for somebody else to be comfortable, right? So, so let me go to Fantasia's Instagram real quick here. FANT. Instagram. Oh, and Fantasia's on Cameo too. Oh, that's cool. I would love to get a cameo from Fantasia. American Idol winner, saying hey to me. Yes. So here's what Fantasia's doing. She is booked, child, okay? Making it do what it do. Look, child, she is selling out, making it do what it do. Y'all see it. Go ahead, Fantasia. I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all. Then, of course, February 20th, Fantasia, Anthony Hamilton. So your daughter's working. Meanwhile, you ain't doing shit. Here's Fantasia with her band and everything. It looks like she did not. It looks like she did not go live as of yet. Smooth soup, brother. I gotta tell you, with the champagne, making it do what it do, and just my wife at work. Okay. Listen, I'm the same way. Like I would love to surprise my wife like that if she, did what she did in that fashion. So no live from Fantasia as of yet. So I'm sure when she goes live, we're all going to hear about it for damn sure. So that is the show, y'all. Woo! What a show this morning. What a show. We did that in 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 51 seconds. 6 people in the building. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Glad to have all of you here. Let's see here. Y'all know we always leave y'all with a positive news story here. Let me see something. Let's see. Okay, so here is something here. So this is for everybody in the world of if men, let the ladies know this, okay? This is huge, okay? This came out 4 hours ago. MAC is coming to Sephora. Beauty Giant makes it official. The verified account posted it's official. MAC is coming to Sephora. What's the first thing you're taking home? Confirming that the iconic beauty brand sent to Sephora. No launch date, timeline, or product details were included in the post. The message simply confirmed the development and invite followers to share what they'll be posting first. The post appeared roughly 20 hours before the screenshot was captured and had already generated at least 165 replies at that time. Neither MAC nor Sephora provide additional specifics in the visible threads posts regarding rollout plans or availability. For now, the only confirmed detail is clear. MAC is officially coming to Sephora. So for the men, tell the ladies in your life, and for the ladies, there's your positive news story of the day, everybody. Yes, indeed. And it's always good, man, to see good things happening. And I'm sure that, what, is happening, with makeup. There are certain contracts that you got to fulfill, and there's certain things that, it's negotiations and stuff like that. I'll leave y'all with 2 more positive news stories here. Right here. So for those of you who may not know, right here, let me pull this up. So right here, for those of you who may not know, The Neighborhood ended on CBS, and there was a special moment that was shared with Cedric and the cast. So here we go. Come on, man, there we go.
Job and that respect is given all the way around, and so that's the greatest thing about this experience. And so many blessings. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Do your job and that respect is given all.
Take a picture. Like I said, when you
what I heard?
Spending time with people, creating, content or shows that go beyond, just go beyond TV. It's very difficult not to feel something. So, yes, indeed. All right, 2 more stories, y'all. Now, the first one was for the women. That one was for, more of the men and, just families and everything else. Just, try to bounce out here. Now, y'all, look at this shit right here. This is a positive news story of we aren't delusional because we know this is a lie.
I love Nicki Minaj. She was here a couple of weeks ago. She's so beautiful. Her skin's so beautiful. I said, Nicki is so beautiful. Her nails are like that long. I said, Nicki, are they real? I love Nicki Minaj. She was here a couple of weeks ago. She's so beautiful. She said she didn't want to get into that. But she was so beautiful and so great. And she And she gets it, more importantly, frankly, she gets it. Like she said, she didn't want to.
He didn't even talk about Omarosa that deep. Oh my God. So gushed over Nicki Minaj's beauty in home build. She is, well, Soul is ugly as fuck, but she her beauty game, the card doesn't decline, but no. And finally, y'all, here's a funny story for y'all. Charlamagne the God, man, he came through a university and did this, y'all. Here we go.
I say it all the time. I tell them all. I literally tell them what I say. Don't be joke. Don't be cool. Don't be good. That's the only thing I have.
So you hear Charlamagne the God surprising virtually Clark Atlanta University media class with one advice: don't do Coca-Cola. So it's always something going on in this world, damn it. Y'all, that's the show. I appreciate y'all for being here. We had a great time this morning. Tune in tonight because, like I said, Netflix, they flip-flop a lot when it comes to their decisions. And they don't want to get into linear TV. But does Braylon Lee have a plan? Do Braylon Lee have a plan for how Netflix could do linear TV? Maybe. Do it tonight. We'll talk. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love and send it right back to you. Bye, everybody. Love y'all. Bye.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that They've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought it
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills, with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about, besides lying all the damn time. Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about, besides lying all the damn time. Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about, besides lying all the damn time. Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about, besides lying all the damn time. Child Relevant over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about, besides lying all the damn time.